So guys, tonight I really want to just run through a little more about this story. Lots of you are posting on your story. That's absolutely fine. I just know there's a little bit extra that you can do, and that's really been working for me. And I know that when I've passed on to some people that they've said, oh my God, this is just amazing. You might all be doing this anyway, but I just wanted to let you know what I do. So, you know, you can be messaging sort of 50 to 100 people, not necessarily every day, because sometimes that's a repeat of the people from before. But you can definitely be connecting with lots of people on your story. And I think if you're using your Facebook and you're not using your story, you are missing a trick. So if you're new to this and you're struggling and you're thinking, well, God, I've only got to post, I'm post on my Facebook, and now she wants me to post on a story. That's fine. But when you're ready to start doing that, you need to then start posting on your story. If you're not ready to do that yet, then that's absolutely fine. But I just wanted you to know what there's the possibility of doing in the future. If you're ready to post on your story, then this is what you need to be doing, basically. So we know about the story because it's those circles that come up there. They are your story for anyone that doesn't know that. And you can go and click on other people's stories and see what they're doing. But basically, you need to be loading up on your story some things about you, not just about the products, and you need to be loading these up. You can sometimes load them up from a post, and it gives you an option to post on your story. It's up to you if you want to do that, but for me, I prefer to put something different on my story, and I like to put text on it. So in the 6 a.m. club this morning, we got people to post a picture on their story, and then to do a text message over the top of the story, or a caption over that picture, and then post that, and then use the same picture again and post another text over the top of the story, the picture rather, but in a different place. So what it does, I'm going to just try and show you mine. So what it does is it will keep, there you go, look, can you see it just keeps jumping? It's the same picture, but it just keeps jumping to the next message. And because I've put the text in a different place, it looks like it's jumping. So I hope you can all see that. And I've used the same picture, and I've gone on to something else. So you can do that, guys, with, hang on a minute. You can do that, guys, with a recipe, as in like you do a picture of your dinner, and you could do 3 pictures of your dinner on the trot and make a different caption on it. Shred10 approved dinner, loads of plant-based, loving the support group, message me or DM me for details or something like that. Put 3 separate messages on top of your one picture over a period of times. So I hope you get what I mean. So you post the one picture with one lot of text, and you post that on your story. You then repeat the same picture but with a different text, and then you do the same picture again with no text on it, and then put it with text on. And what that will look like is like this. So there's the picture. There's the picture, and that will just keep jumping to the next one, to the next message, all the way through like that. You can put on what you like. There you go, it's just done the last one. So, okay, that's what you're trying to do, and you can do that with lots of different things. You could do it with your dogs, your horses, whatever you're interested in. It's just a way of making it look like a little video. Now, the point of you doing that is in the bottom corner. Oh, I'm just getting the next person up. And in the bottom, yeah, in the bottom left-hand corner, can you see that little blue number? That's the I. that's how many people have viewed my story. And if you realise, you can click on it and you get this list of people all there. Now, I know a lot of you may know this, but I'm just being as basic as this because I want new people. I want this recorded so that we can give this to new people that are starting a business and they can understand what we're talking about. So you've got a list of all these people that have viewed your story. Now, they haven't messaged you, they haven't interacted with you, they haven't given you a thumbs up, they've done nothing, but they've viewed your story. So this is what the next bit that I do. I message them all. So what you can actually do is click on a name. It gives you the option to bring up their profile picture. So I'm going to go onto their profile picture. And now I'm going to click on message. And I'm going to see if I've messaged them before. And what I've messaged them about, what's going on. If it's someone I've never messaged before, I send them a really simple message. And I am just going to find that for you because I'm afraid I'm not organised. And I'll just find it and I shall just read it out to you and then you will be able to, I'm going to post it into the group so you'll know what it is, but I'm just got to find it first. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's not there. It's not that one. Right, so I say hi and I say their name and I say, and I'm going to post this in the group and I don't expect you to write it all down, but I might repeat it in a minute. Thanks for checking out my story about our amazing Shred 10 plan. We've got starting soon. And then I say that I've got 5 VIP spaces left if you'd like to take one of those up and shift some unwanted eating / diet habits. We all collect over time and then come back to me ASAP and I can chat things through with you and send you the link that enables and explains all about it. So then I also say what the Shred 10 has done for me. So you need to put in your bit in this. So I say in the last Shred 10, I kicked all those cravens and even munchies. What else do I say? And I also lost 7 pounds. And this is the key. If I sent you a link that explains a bit about it, would you watch it? So I think it's a shame that the Shred 10 is called the Shred 10 because by it being called the Shred 10, people think it's all to do with weight loss. So in my message, I think it's very important that you need to say to them, it's the Shred 10, but it's all about shredding unhealthy eating habits. Word it how you like, but I do think it's important to also say that there's VIP spaces are left, so that creates an urgency. And I also think that's important to say what the Shred 10 has done for you. Very brief. You've got to keep it brief. And I just talk about the cravings and even munchies. And if that's what it's been for you as well, that's helped you with that as well, then you can do the same. You can say the same, you know, because I find that's very popular because not everyone wants to lose weight, but it's all about the cravings and the even munchies. And the bit that you really must write down is, and we're told by GoPro that is, if I would I use that in so many situations. So if I sent you a link that explains a bit about it, would you watch it? You must always end a message with a question or else they won't come back to you. If you're not ending it with a question, you've lost them. They won't come back to you. You must always ask a question. So that's what I send, and usually they'll come back to me with some sort of thing. This particular person said, yes, I will give it a go. I've put a food stone on just recently and I want to try and lose it, but I really don't want to pay a fortune to do it. Now, so what does that make you think when someone says they don't want to pay a fortune? Does it mean they've only got £20 to spend, or does that mean they've only got £100 to spend because they used to have £200 to spend? We can't judge. We cannot interpret what that means. So I also have another, the next message is the message that I send which is about the link with the Shred 10. But again, I've put a little personal bit at the bottom, at the top, because she said she couldn't know whether she could afford it. So I've just said, that's fine. I can find a package to suit you. They range from 75 pence to £2.06 a day. So totally affordable. So I think it's very important to reassure them that it is just 75 pence to £2.06 a day. I don't go on about it being, oh, I could get you a package for £57 or it's £22.50 or start with the boosters as £20.50. I don't do that. I just put it in pence. So I always say to them, if they query a price, I always say 75 pence to £2.06 a day. And then the next part of this message is my long message that I send when I send my Shred 10 link. I don't just send the Shred 10 link. I have done that at the beginning, but I didn't have much success with it. For the simple reason, in the beginning of the Shred 10 video, they talk about being on the shakes and capsules. And I think that puts people off. They think that A, they've got to be on the shakes and capsules, and B, they have no idea how much it is. Yes, they know I've said a 75 pence to £2.06 a day, but sometimes people are too worried to come back to you about a price. So the message I put up is that little personal bit at the beginning, and I will post this in the group in a minute. I say, here's the link. Have a watch of the first 3-minute video that talks about the products. So I'm now telling them there's products. Up to this point, they didn't really know that there was products. So then I say to them, and I think this is really important piece, obviously for absolute best results, you need to be on both the shakes and capsules. And I can chat with you about that to find the perfect package to suit your goals and your pocket. So very quickly, you've reassured them that we can sort something out to suit them. You've already told them a 75 pence to £2.06 a day. So you've reassured them. Then I explain it. I'm afraid I spell it out because some people, if I've sent the link, they've come back to me within 2 minutes and they've said, yeah, either they're interested or they're not. And I know they haven't watched all the other stuff. So I started then explaining to them in this same message. I also say in the same message, also watch the 6 testimonials. Then scroll down to the how to get started section where it explains the process, and watch the video at point 3 in the green words, Daily Detox with Shred 10. That's about 20 minutes long and is very informative as the science behind why we feel like we do and how Shred 10 can help you like it has for me and the others. Come back to me after if you'd like to chat it through further, and I'll give you a program and I'll give you the program and I'll take you to the next step. So I think it's important to make sure they go down to that section 3 because so many people don't. And if they watch that section 3, then if they'll watch that through, then you've got them. They'll then do the product. I'll find that they'll then do the products. So I find that message works really well. And I'm going to post it in the group so that you can all have it. This was a message I had from someone that I went through last night. So after she's watched the Shred 10 thing, then she said to me, that sounds really good. What should I substitute for caffeine? That's my worst thing, like Costa lattes. And eating late at night, snacking at bedtime is a bad one for me. So I've said to her, perfect. I can help you with this, getting rid of my cravings. It's how it's helped me. They want to know about your pains. That's how it's going to help you, how it's helped you, and how it's going to help them. What is your monthly budget to spend on this? I don't have long conversations. I just get straight to the point. So she said, I'm not sure really, but like you said, I would probably benefit from the shakes and capsules. Now, she's the person that originally started off the conversation by saying she couldn't afford much, but she's already saying that. So I've said, okay, yes, that would be the perfect package for you. I'm on the shakes, capsules and omegas, but we can find what's going to suit you and what you'd like to see. And would you like to see the prices so we can decide what suits you and your pocket? So she said yes, please. So I've got another question at the end. Did you see that? I've got another question at the end. You must have a question at every time. I've got a question every time. So she said yes, please. So I've sent her, I've got a brief overlay of the prices that I think I copied from Lindsay. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. It's very basic. And she can look through that very easily. And again, at the bottom of the prices, I say, what do you have in mind starting with? Another question. I never ever finish a comment to someone without a question, ever. Even if it's, how does that sound? You need to have a question every time. If you don't, they won't come back to you because you've finished the conversation if you don't ask a question. So after that, she said, I'm thinking I'd like to go with the shakes. So then I've said to her, yeah, that's perfect. They're exactly what I started with. Are you up for having a shake for breakfast and lunch and a healthy morning snack and a healthy mid-afternoon snack and a healthy evening meal? Yes, that would be great, she said. So I've then told her that we're going to start on the 2nd of July. And she said, yeah, I'll have the mixed box of shakes. And then I've sent the card details. And she's then said, yeah, she'll go for it. So it's pretty simple. And that all came from that one message at the very beginning, which was, hi, thanks for checking out my story. And I get loads like this. Some of them will say, that's not for me right now, but that doesn't matter. I'm not bothered because I just want these quick conversations like this. And we've got to keep it quick and we've got to keep it basic, because if we start trying to say, I'm going to do a perfect package for you and what is it you want? And because I was going through a stage of doing that, and that's fine if that still works for you, do that. But if you've got new people starting your team, how can they put all those packages together? It's really difficult for them to put the packages together. It's just got to be simple, guys. It's got to be really simple. I find that message works so well. If you're more experienced and you're able to say things like, okay, your budget is £50, so I've got you a few items that you can put together. It will come back £57 for the berry and cap shakes or whatever. If you're experienced and that's working for you, carry on doing it. But I'm only trying to do something that's really simple that will work for you and that will also work for your team. This is all about doing this really, really very simply. It really is simply. It's got to be simple. So I find I get great results with that. Now, there was one other thing I wanted to show, just changing slightly. On the story, you've got these 3 little dots at the bottom. Oh, don't tell me I can't find them now. Maybe it's when you post it. Oh, no, it's when you post, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so when you go on your story to post, because I've got some people that have said to me, oh, they can't post on their story because they don't want people to see it. They want it to be private. So if you go to post on something, you should have the settings. It comes up with settings. I have to turn it to the side, you just won't see the light. Let's go back again. So if I'm going to be posting this, it's a picture, let's say. So you go to settings in that in the middle there. And that brings up another menu. I don't know if you've found that yet, but anyone has found that yet? Give us a thumbs up if you found that before. Okay, that's settings. So in settings, you can have public, friends and connections, friends and custom. So you can choose who you show your story to. Because I think Lindsay said, for example, she couldn't post on a story because that was public and she didn't want her work colleagues to know what she was doing. But you can actually do that. So it's just worth knowing that you can do that. So you go to post the picture and you click on the settings And that brings up this another screen that you can then change your settings. So I don't know if you found that before. So basically, so for me, if I'm going back to my story, I've got 94 people that have viewed this story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through each one of those, and I am going to click on their name, because you can click on their name from here, and then you can click on their profile. You just find one that isn't a team. Oh look, my mum has commented. My mum has looked at it, bless her. So I can click on that, and it will take me to her profile. Oh no, isn't that someone else's? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So then you can click on the message, and it jumps you somewhere else. It does this sometimes. Just a minute. I think my phone has gone funny now on me. Just a minute. Let me go back and do that again. Right, yeah. Click on view profile. Click on messenger, and you can see what I've messaged her. As one of the questions someone asked me is, how often do you keep messaging them? So I will look back at that message and I'll see. So I only messaged this person on Sunday. So I probably wouldn't message them, but I will read the message that I sent them. And that was all to do with happy birthday. So that tells me that that's why she's now seeing my story, because I messaged her on here about saying happy birthday. And she told me what she was doing for her birthday. And if I look back, before that, that was in May, that I sent her my message about thank you for checking my story. We've got a shred10 starting in June, so it's now ready to start in July. So I would send her a brief message just saying, hi, I see I've spoken to you before about our amazing shred10, getting those amazing results for the team, for the girls. Is July a better time for you to get started with us? Question again. It's got to be a question. Is July a better time for getting started with us? And if she doesn't respond to that, and she looks at my story in a month's time, and we're now going into August, I shall just send her the same message. Hi, I see we've spoken before, spoken to you in July about the shred10. Is September a better time for you to get started? And I will carry on doing that, because I believe that she'll either tell me to sling me hook, or she'll say to me, yes, I am ready now. Because we are told that you need 8 exposures before they will say yes. So when you're getting lots of comments to people, you're talking to people and you're not getting much back, it's because they need to be seen. They need to see this 8 times. So don't be worried if that's the case. Just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Just keep asking them. Just keep asking them. Okay? And say to them, you saw my post, my story last month in May, and we're now going into June or whatever it was. Is now a better time for you? Another question. You've got to have a question at the end of every piece. So I will basically work through all of these, and obviously when you do this for the first time, all of them have never been messaged, so you'd message them all. But working through these, I can see people I know I've already messaged, but I will check to see what I've messaged them, as to whether I can send them that little message saying, is now a better time for you? I see we've spoken before. And I think the other thing it does, it gives me a chance to maybe, I'll look at some of these messages, these people rather, and I know I've spoken to them, but I can't remember what I've spoken to them about. That might have been about the business. So I'll then say, thank you for checking out my story. Is now a better time for you to look at the business information? Because they don't really remember whether they looked at your story to do with the shred10, the shakes, the capsules, the business, because your horse was looking nice, because they have no idea what they were looking at. Not really. So you can really get away with saying anything. So if you've already spoken to them about something else, previously about the business, then you could say that, or you could talk to them about the shred 10. It's entirely up to you. But you need to keep talking to these people, I believe, because I believe that they will eventually come back to it. So I've got 94 to get back to on here. Admittedly, there's some people on there that are in the business, so I won't obviously be getting back to them. But I just think it's so important to be doing this, guys. You'll wake up the following morning with lots of messages of people sending you a thumbs up because you've asked the question. If I sent you a link that tells you a bit about it, would you watch it? And because of that, they are going to say, yes, they want to see the link. And your next message is, you could ask them what they struggle with, but the next message really is, here's the link and watch the 3-minute video. And like I've explained. So I don't know if you've got any questions, guys, so far. I've rabbited on quite a lot. I don't know. I know that I went through this last night with Wendy. And Wendy struggled to go to sleep last night. In fact, I'll just let Wendy explain. We've got 10 minutes left on this call. So I'll just let Wendy explain are you all right for explaining that, Wendy? Hang on, let me unmute you. Hang on, it's not let me, hang on, it's not let me unmute you now. Oh, have I got to go to this other bit to unmute you? Oh, it's done. Yeah, you've done it, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really beneficial chatting to you about the story, because I mean, I've been posting regularly on the story, but I haven't really been following it up. I've been sort of making a list, messaging really long drawn out messages, which I think yesterday on 6 a.m. Club I said I find it a struggle once I've connected with someone to then do the follow-up. And I think the Zoom last night with you, us chatting, I've just, like you've just explained to everyone, paring down and asking the question, you know, if I did this, would you? And that's what I've tried to build into my messages. So last night I had, I think it was 21 views overall on my stories over Facebook and Instagram. So I sent them all that message, and I've had, out of the 21, I think I've had 14 come back to me who I've now sent the Shred 10 link to. So I mean, I haven't heard back from any of them. I'm just going to leave that now. I've made a list of who I've messaged. I've put a little 10 by it, so I know that I've sent them the Shred 10 link, and then I'll follow that up in maybe sort of 2 or 3 days time and see, and just ask them what they thought.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I couldn't sleep because we'd had such an exciting Zoom call, and I was, you know, I think it's lovely to do these Zooms because one, you see each other's faces, and you just, the energy, oh God, there's something flying. Yeah, no, and I literally at 12:30 last night, I was still lying there thinking, right, I'm just going to go back on and check who's looked at my story, if anyone else has, and I'm going to write them down. I'm going to message them, but eventually I did. Yeah, I did calm down. But yeah, it was just great. Really great. And this is so helpful to all of us. I mean, to all of us that have, you know, some that have been in the business ages, and us, you know, I'm quite new still. I only joined at the end of March. But for the new girls, the new apprentices, I mean, it's so easy to sort of just send that one message and then follow it up with another one, and then just leave it. And then move on to the next one. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, Wendy. Thank you. That's brilliant. So it's lovely to hear feedback. So what I do is I write on my DMO that I've spoken to that person. I don't write their name down till they come back to me and give me a thumbs up or say that they want to see the link. When they want to see the link, it's then that I write the name down. I don't write the name down either, because you can't write 100 names down of all the people that have seen your story. You can't write all those down. I only write down the ones that have come back to me and said they want to see the link. And when I've done that, I put it in my DMO, and I also have another book that I keep all of them down here. So they're all written down, Shred 10, Shred 10, Shred 10, or whatever. And I have a tick across the page of where I've put them, whether I've put them in the testimonial group, whether I put them in my free group, my work from home group, my Shred 10 group, or what I've done with them. And I can look down here. So now, this week, I've been going through all my lists, all of my Shred 10 lists down here. and it's so easy to find them. I haven't got to keep looking through days and days of DMOs. So it's a bit of a drag sometimes having a second book, but I just prefer that. So I've got all these people that I've done a shred 10 to, and I've just been, and they will all materialise to orders or something somewhere along the line. I know they will. Okay, so I put them in my DMO, and I have a little star beside one that's got back to me, a line through if they're not interested. I have a little sort of code, so I know what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. When I've sent them the prices, I've put prices beside it. When I've sent card details, I put card details beside it, so I can look at a glance in my book and I know exactly. Because otherwise you'll think, now who did I send them card details to? Or, you know, and you don't know where you are with it. And I've had to do all of that to help keep it short and sharp, and because there's too many people to message on your story. And I believe if you're doing it on your story, Facebook will show you more of your profile content as well. Obviously there's a lot to be talked about posting on your profile as well. What's that? I don't know what I've got on my phone. Oh, it's gone.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You were saying about writing down, like how you were keeping track of that, right?
Yeah.
What I do, another little thing that I do is, like, so say if somebody says that they're waiting for payday, for example, so I'll then ask them when is their payday.
Yeah.
And then I'll say that I'll check back in with them then or whatever, and maybe offer the buy now, pay later, so they can send me their details now. I can get started in the group, and then I can process their order on their date that they get paid. I put like a reminder in my phone, so to remind myself, because sometimes I find it hard writing things down, so I put a reminder in my phone to remind me on that date to follow up with that person, whether it's their payday or whether it's they're saying they're away this month and they're ready next month. I put a reminder on my phone, and that works really well for me because my phone's on me all the time. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
That's really good. That's excellent. Yeah, I think, you know, we need to use our technology as much as we can. Like Amy says, you've got your phone with you all the time. So I might try and take that on board and do that, definitely. So I'm going to be posting the messages. I'm not quite sure where I'll post the messages, because if we post them in the chat gets lost in this anyway. So if you've got any questions, so Charlotte does the same. Charlotte would like to see the messages. Can you put the messages in the group? Rosie says that would be amazing. Yeah, okay, that's great. So I have found this to be an absolute game changer when I've told people about this, and following up. If they keep looking at your story, then I keep following up. Basically, I might give them a month. Depends really what they've said, what the conversation we've had. But you must always do a question every time at the end of any message. You must do a question. And, you know, don't be worried to get straight to the point. Guys, I'm in the last minute now. It's what I hate about these short, sharp Zoom calls, but that's it for tonight. I'll see you on tomorrow's 6 a.m. club, I guess. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it beneficial. Hope someone's taken a picture, because I haven't took a picture yet. So we will see you all tomorrow morning. Are you taking a picture? Yeah, quickly take a picture. Are we ready? All done? I think it's going to go now. All right, guys. Speak to you later. Bye.